So I want to touch on this report and what we're seeing out there in reality when it comes to the Great Resignation, because all of the experts I've spoken to still think that this has got a while to play out, even up to 2 years still, as we talk about people leaving safe jobs and going off to travel, just simply not returning to the workforce at this stage.
It's so true. We are in a period of transition right now, and I still think it's going to be a while before things settle down. So I'm on the side of all the experts.
One of the other big factors that we're seeing a lot too is that you've got many employees still wanting some form of a hybrid model as they engage with their workforce, but some employers becoming very strict now and putting employees on a list if they're not complying, if they're not coming back, effectively warning them they don't have a job if they don't return to work. Just talk about the trends here, because it still feels as though we're not transitioning to a future that is a different workplace to the past.
I think what's really challenging for every leader in every business is we've never faced a moment like this where it's not just in one sector or one industry or one geography. It's across the world that the challenge of finding talent and the fact that the psychology of the workforce is changing. So what organizations are struggling with is that the old model of work of one size fits all or one policy of how we're going to work just doesn't fit in a reality where many of the workforce tasted a different reality and learned and believed they can be more productive in a different setting. But most business leaders have never learned with confidence how to govern their business in a very, very different way than they have before, which is we're all together. So it's a really hard time. And I feel for business leaders because nothing's prepared us for this moment. Where the workforce is looking at things differently and making different choices. So it is really, really hard. And I think we've got a ways to go before we settle on something that feels more comfortable, if you will, for both parties.
I mean, you're right, Stephen. This hybrid model, we're all learning how it works. And I thoroughly approve of work from home if it works for people's family, if it keeps more women in the workplace, if it keeps more people generally in the workplace. I think it's a positive thing. But on the other side of the coin, there are a vast number of employees in the United Kingdom elsewhere who haven't got a clue what's about to happen to them. I was talking to an employee yesterday who basically said a staff member of mine didn't even bother telling me they weren't coming in. They just sent a positive picture of a positive COVID test. The arrogance of some employees who think they can just get away with such awful behaviour. They're going to get a rude awakening quite soon, aren't they?
Well, I think we're seeing all kinds of things that we've never seen before. And clearly, a lot of people believe that the workforce is feeling to have more leverage. But we're also seeing employers do some things that are really equally awkward, such as letting people go when COVID forced businesses to close, and then when businesses coming back, inviting the workforce back, but only if they take a significant reduction in pay. So I see both parties doing some pretty strange things right now.